Hey loves, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'll be checking out Thomas Sowell as he speaks on has Israel learned from the stupidity of the West. We're about to find out in this video. We're about to find out in this video if Israel has truly learned from the stupidity of the West. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please consider subscribing. Give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And without much ado, let's see what Thomas Sowell has for us in this video.
Moral paralysis is a term that has been used to describe the inaction of France, England, and other European democracies in the 1930s as they watched Hitler build up the military forces that he later used to attack them. It is a term that may be painfully relevant to our own times. Back in the 1930s, the governments of the democratic countries knew what Hitler was doing, and they knew that they had enough military superiority at that point to stop his military buildup in its tracks. But they did nothing to stop him. Instead, they turned to what is still the magic mantra today, negotiations.
Imagine.
No leader of a democratic nation was ever more popular than British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, wildly cheered in the House of Commons by opposition parties as well as his own, when he returned from negotiations in Munich in 1938, waving an agreement and declaring that it meant peace in our time. We know now how short that time was. Less than a year later, World War II began in Europe and spread across the planet, killing tens of millions of people and reducing many cities to rubble in Europe and Asia. Looking back after that war, Winston Churchill said, "There was never a war in all history easier to prevent by timely action. The earlier it was done, the less it would have cost." At one point, Hitler could have been stopped in his tracks without the firing of a single shot, Churchill said. That point came in 1936, 3 years before World War II began, when Hitler sent troops into the Rhineland in violation of 2 international treaties. At that point, France alone was so much more powerful than Germany that the German generals had secret orders to retreat immediately at the first sign of French intervention. As Hitler himself confided, the Germans would have had to retreat with our tail between our legs because they did not yet have enough military force to put up even a token resistance. Why did the French not act and spare themselves and the world the years of horror that Hitler's aggressions would bring? The French had the means, but not the will. Moral paralysis came from many things. The death of 1 million French soldiers in the First World War and disillusionment with the peace that followed cast a pall over a whole generation. Pacifism became the vogue among the intelligentsia and spread into educational institutions. As early as 1932, Winston Churchill said, "France, though armed to the teeth, is pacifist to the core." It was morally paralyzed. History may be interesting, but it is the present and the future that pose the crucial question. Is America today the France of yesterday? We know that Iran is moving swiftly toward nuclear weapons, while the United Nations is moving slowly, or not at all, toward doing anything to stop them. It is a sign of our irresponsible utopianism that anyone would even expect the UN to do anything that would make any real difference. Not only the history of the UN, but the history of the League of Nations before it demonstrates again and again that going to such places is a way for weak-kneed leaders of democracies to look like they are doing something, when in fact they are doing nothing. The Iranian leaders are not going to stop unless they get stopped. And like Hitler, they don't think we have the guts to stop them. Incidentally, Hitler made some of the best anti-war statements of the 1930s. He knew that this was what the Western democracies wanted to hear, and that it would keep them morally paralyzed while he continued building up his military machine to attack them. Iranian leaders today make only the most token and transparent claims that they are building peaceful nuclear facilities in one of the biggest oil-producing countries in the world, which has no need for nuclear power to generate electricity. Nuclear weapons in the hands of Iran and its international terrorist allies will be a worse threat than Hitler ever was. But before that happens, the big question is, are we France? Are we morally paralyzed, perhaps fatally?
You guys, that was such an insightful one from Thomas Sowell, and I hope the whole world gets to learn more about him. It's so sad to say a looming disaster and someone who is in a position to stop it does not even want to make any attempt because of maybe political stand or what they stand to gain. I know that one thing is for sure, you can't stop war. War is bound to happen. History might repeat itself again if nobody is trying to prevent it, and I just hope that another war does not break out worldwide, because it's going to be more devastating than World War I and World War II. Thomas Sowell is such a great storyteller, and everything he said in this video is very, very true. And they are so relevant if only they can be applied to today's world, especially nations that are going against nations. Thomas Sowell teaches nothing but the truth, and I love him for that. This was very insightful, and I always love to listen to him because I learn a lot from listening to Thomas Sowell. Let me know what you guys think about this video. If you totally enjoyed watching, give it a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.